go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Never save no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Ready up. 53, Mike, come on.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
I'm coming after you.
Off the play fake. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack.
He's not going to get me.
Second and long. Josh Doxson's got it complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 6.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's get in there. Let's get in now.
56.
Operating from the gun. King. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
To throw is King on first down. A deep ball for Dotson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh.
I got you.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. Check.
Hey, echo. Go.
Back to throw. Patterson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Patterson. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw on 2nd down, Patterson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And I think the ball's out. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds. So they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
King on 1st and 10. Lets it fly for Thielen. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey, Sam on. Check 26, check 26. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, switch gears.
On the ground, this is Kamara. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Hey, Orbit.
55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat.
From the gun, Patterson. The open man is Smith. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
A throw over the middle taken in, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Patterson, and tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Here's King, looking to throw on 2nd down. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 22 is coming, 22 is coming, Mike.
What's the run? They're running it. Mike 22.
Back to throw. King, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
But that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now a throw to the end end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Patterson going to throw deep for the end zone. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 33. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 33.
Check 53. Watch the screen. Watch the run.
Now King from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. 30, the 20, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a scrap.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
5.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Patterson. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith as the first half is winding down. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, Delta.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get it.
To throw again. Patterson. He's got Smith here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right
now.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be taken at the 10. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On second down now, it's Cook. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Madison. And some room to maneuver. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward and pick up that first. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going.
And Kamara has it stripped.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
On the ready.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. I know he ain't got it.
Go.
To throw on second down. Patterson, complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Throwing on first down. Patterson. Buying time to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a give running right, it's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. All day, baby. All day. All day, baby. All day.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
53's the Mike. 53's the Mike. Here we go. Here we go. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Mike.
King now, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Ready? 70, Indy.
Crunch time, defense. Check. Check 43. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Watch safety creep. Watch safety.
Hey, lock it.
Safety.
Rock it. Hey, jet. Ready?
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage back at their own 3 now as they come up 2nd and long. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Strip
the ball. Strip that.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Patterson. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike. Defense wins championships, baby. 55 Mike.
Get it.
From the gun, Patterson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Set.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, he just bumped up his personal stats with a second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think I just appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. Hey, my 7.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one complete to Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Yeah. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch out.
Back to throw. Patterson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he loses the football a second time. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun. Patterson over the middle to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Under team. Look, squeeze. Recon, 132 fighter. Fight.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
Let's go. 18 Gator. Protein spill. I'm coming. Hey, Echo.
From the gun, Patterson. And that is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with third and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On fourth down, King. The throw complete to Beebe. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Mike 22, Mike 22.
To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. King to throw again. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. After the sack, it's second and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Here's King throwing on third and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now King throwing on fourth down. Now a desperation. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch out.
Go on. Ready?
A 10th carry for Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And I think they might have something in this young rookie quarterback because he certainly looked the part.
I have to ask you a question. Are you thinking similar to what I'm thinking? That these rookie quarterbacks, they come in more prepared than ever before?
Year after year, they just seem more comfortable from day one.
I think you start really young now. These quarterback coaches, they play against a better competition. They go to camps across the country. Then they play big-time games in college. So when they get to the NFL, it's not quite the same, how would you say it, pressure that they felt in years past. And these kids just go out and perform.
And keep in mind, he led them to a road victory here, even more impressive. So for the Saints, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.